What is up, the world of the living? My name is Loix and welcome back to Legacy SMP. Friends, in the last episode, we've been walking on this hill road, going through the desert. We need a name for the desert. Anyway, going through the desert, and we actually encountered a hilarious thing that's been a while since we stumbled into. We need a bunch of stone. We need a bunch of stone. Yeah, there's stone. We need stone. Stone is gonna happen, and luckily I have just the project to get that stone out of. You see, my friends, I was given this a little bit of a thought. I was just like pondering, weighing my options, and here's what I kind of realized. You know how my channel has two survival series right now on? One is Truly Bedrock, which is where I kind of do Bedrock Edition survival Minecraft, and this is Legacy, where we do Java. But in reality, the Java and the Bedrock Edition is not the biggest difference that we're dealing with. The reality is that the main difference is that on Legacy SMP, well, okay, on Truly Bedrock, I kind of do everything I always wanted to do, whereas here on the Legacy SMP, I seem to be doing stuff I never tried before. Hear me out. Like, look at this graveyard over here, right? Look at it and weep, because that's what you do at the graveyard. But at the same time, I never tried something along these lines. Well, I did try to build the graveyard, but I never really did anything with Podzol. I never really did statues this way. I never really even did PvP. I suck at PvP. I'm horrible at it. And I actually actively went after some members like Avamans and whatnot to kill them and to kind of win and do all sorts of cool stuff with this graveyard. And that's how it ended up being an actual first project I completed. I legitimately completed here on the server. So let's just keep the train rolling, shall we? You know what else is? What's another thing I never tried to do? Make my own minigame on a survival multiplayer server. So maybe it's about time we change that. My friends, that I decided is what will be the purpose of the Catacombs under the entire Legacy server right now. But naturally, before we do anything, any of the actual gameplay, we'll need to actually, kind of get our stuff together and put together the catacombs themselves. Figure out the interiors, add at least several more rooms, do secret entrances and whatnot, and after that we'll talk. So let's roll the time lapse, and right after we'll talk some game design. Because I have things, I have thoughts, I have ideas even. There was supposed to be a second time-lapse here. Replay mode couldn't handle it. So, the idea for this minigame is kind of heavily decked out inspired. So, please don't call me out, don't be like, oh, plagiarism, the kind of... No, this is gonna be its own thing. If nothing else, then because of the prices. But we'll talk prices a little bit later. First and foremost, I want to talk to you about how I want you to get the prices to begin with. And also this clicking is going to drive me absolutely nuts, so I'm just going to do that. Right. you know already that I'm planning to put all of the secret entrances over in the town, just here and there, just everywhere, just in the there's one in Skizzleman's library, there's one under the town hall, I just put it there, there's one in the graveyard, there's one on Pearlescent Moon's base. And here's what I want to do. I want these secret entrances to be specifically the point of the entire endeavor. Here's how I'm gonna realize that. These secret entrances are all gonna lead to custom rooms. Each and every one of them will have somewhere in them a custom made texture map, which is a map which you made with pixel art that has a texture of one of the blocks here. And they are going to be having variants. So, for example, in the library, it's going to be a custom bookshelf with custom books, like with a skull on it, with a candle. I already showed you a couple of videos ago. If you don't know, just check it out in my uploads. But that's going to be in here. In the boiler room that we just built, that you saw in the time lapse, I want to put the custom furnace texture. In Pearlescent Moon's area, I'll put something else together. In the bee cult area that we also just saw in the time lapse, we're gonna put something really cool together. Just all these maps will be the goal. If you collect all of them, you basically win. But here's how you collect them. You have to find the secret entrances under the town. And there are two ways to find them. One is to just stumble around the town, flicking every single lever, just rotating every single item frame, jumping into every single painting, basically just brute force. But another one is much more clever, is to find one secret entrance and venture into the catacombs themselves. That way, you will be able to run around the catacombs, tracking exactly where you're going, maybe even getting the coordinates of the place, to find other rooms that you can go in, to figure out where the secret entrances that are on the surface that lead to them are. That way the game is twofold. Your first task is naturally to find the secret entrances on the surface. Your second one is to survive the catacombs. And ooh, I have two big ideas for how you're gonna not survive the catacombs. And one of them is to just have a giant horde of baby zombies chasing you the entire time that you're like not allowed to fight back. And another, a more fascinated one, but the one that might not actually work and will require a lot of redstone testing, is to actually build several mob grinders, mob spawning chambers on top of the area, somewhere up there in the on the surface, and rig them in a way where these mobs they will spawn will filter out, right? They'll filter out all the creepers and all the witches and channel zombies and skeletons in here for you to kind of fight and absolutely annihilate. I figure either way is gonna be absolutely brilliant. I just need to try both and see which is worse. And whichever is worse, that's the one that we're gonna be using. Okay, so where are we sitting right now with this project then? Well, we're kind of like very planning phase, all that kind of stuff. I did basically put together a to-do list just now with you on what I need to figure out and put together. The prizes, the maps will take several flipping live streams, so check them out on twitch.tv/zloyxp. I'm just fresh out of a 4-hour live stream that is exactly how we got the two new secret entrances that I put together. So, one of those secret entrances is brand new and fresh, and it's this one. It's in this room somewhere, in the community town hall. I bet you can already guess where it is. That's right, it's behind these barrels. No, it's not. It's inside of this map. You just kind of run into it and zoop, and you end up in the old abandoned boiler room, which used to be here. It used to be used to kind of power the entire city, but not anymore because, well, after the apocalypse, the entire area became a desert, so you don't really need as much central heating, so the boiler room was abandoned, kind of in a fairly pristine state. I really like this build because it uses granite and a lot of other beautiful stuff, and I got to use coal ore in its full form, and they got to make a blast furnace as an actual texture. It's just really great, and this is where I want you to find the custom furnace texture that I have in the box. But again, all of these maps are going to be discovered and made together sometime later. Right now, I just kind of am trying to put together Catacombs themselves. For example, the boiler room is using a lot of coal, which is why it makes sense that it is leading directly into the coal mines, which is what these like cobblestone structures are. They are the coal supports. And if we're going with the zombies, with the zombie children idea, then this is actually my favorite area of the map. Because imagine having to run through this with a bunch of zombie babies on your back. And then you notice, oh no, there's a cobblestone block there, so you have to dodge and weave and constantly change your orientation and not stumble once. Because as soon as you hit one of these walls, the baby zombies are gonna catch up and devour your butt whole. Also, I put together another room down here. This here is the cultist room. This is for the bee cult. This is where we have board game nights every Tuesday. Bring pizza, bring something to drink. We're gonna be here a while. Somebody bought the container game. Yeah, I know it sounds boring, but it's actually a lot of fun if you play it with the right people. Point being, this is the bee cult room, and it's kind of like this transition area from the mines into the overall catacombs. But also, this is what is located under the bee church. Up here, you can tell, this here room is gonna be another one where we get them up. But also, this up here is the secret entrance. Yep, it's right there, under the bee altar. This actually is the only one that doesn't really close itself on its own, so I'll have to kind of fiddle and fuggle with it. But still though, I'm really proud of it. It's actually, it's just how simplistic the secret entrances are that is absolutely striking me, and that is absolutely pleasant for me. So yeah, we'll see how all of that goes. I need to put another one somewhere in Python's area. I wanted one in Sausages area. I wanted one somewhere maybe under the tower. Just plenty of imagination to go around. But this is also where we kind of stumble into one other issue. And that is that all of those secret entrances are not actually the secret exits. The only exit out of the catacomb right now is the pearlescent moon's base. It's the only one where you can not only go in, but also come back out. And I feel like that's gonna be subject to change. Because I don't want people to be able to just run off the catacombs with all of the mobs that they acquired. Ooh no! I want that to be like a final boss battle, where you have to absolutely just round around the rosy a horde of zombies, or like fight off skeletons to get out of the catacombs as a giant door very slowly opens in front of you, or closes behind you, one way or another. We'll see. I actually want to kind of maybe potentially outsource that to Logical Geek Boy, but all that is very far in the future. For right now, I just want to add more navigational puzzles in here in the catacombs themselves, add more secret entrances and secret rooms, and I hope, of course, that you are gonna be along with me for the ride. So, once again, twitch.tv/ZloyXP if you want to hang out and just have some tea together and do the board game night on the bee cult and actually watch me put this entire thing together. But if you're fine doing just watching it in time-lapse form, yeah, do subscribe, do leave a like, and don't tell everybody where the secret entrances are. Please. It's way too early for them to investigate. I mean, it's fine afterwards, you feel free to tell them. But right now, I just want to get this place prepped, just so when people actually enter it, it's gonna be an absolute nightmare and an absolute riot. So that's gonna be it for today's episode. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been ZloyXP. This has been Legacy SMP. Yeah, I know, this is a very talky one, but I also I really need your feedback on this project, which is why I felt like running you through the entire idea, the entire operation here. I'm gonna go back and dig more tunnels, And in the meantime, have a good one. Bye bye.